Do you have anger management issues?
I did. I've been in therapy for the last 3 years.
Okay, because the way you present, good brother, the way you present, I'm a little concerned that you're going to be a bit too hard on those boys.
I mean, it's easier to be soft on my daughter than it is on my son because my daughter, I mean, in the perfect world, she'd always have her daddy to protect her.
Right. So you are you
But
still in therapy? Okay, you were medically discharged from the army for post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay.
yeah, because I told a soldier that I got that she didn't belong in in this world. Hello.
Peace and love, brother Sydney. Dr. Umar, how's Indianapolis treating you?
It's cold.
I hear that. I hear that. Go right ahead with your question, good brother.
So, my son is. So I'm an army veteran. I mean, I did it like a lot of that kind of stuff. I was in the army for 8 years, and I found out that I had kids when I got back,
Okay.
and I've been doing everything that I possibly can to be like in their life every single day.
Okay.
Like if it's the last thing that I do that day, then I make it home to see them.
Okay.
But, but in my absence, my son is a very, I don't want to call him a, because that would be an insult. He's just very soft.
Okay. How old is your son?
He's fast.
He's 5 years old.
Yeah.
And so why do you feel that a 5 year old boy could be soft or be a at five?
No, no, no. I don't feel like I
Okay.
feel like he's just very soft, like around the edges. I'm trying to make him like stronger and I guess in a way you could say more like me,
Okay. And
where
when you
I can trust him to protect my family if in my absence.
okay, but at 5 years old, are you sure that you are not adultifying him too soon? Because he's only five. So he's not at an age where he could protect anyone right now.
No, absolutely not. I completely agree. It's not that I'm trying to adultify him. I'm trying to get him ahead of schedule because these things, life kicks you before you're ready to be kicked. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I don't want my son to go through the same thing that I went through. I had an abusive mother and an absent father that only came in my life when I was 16 years old.
Okay. And you have to make sure that the trauma you faced, you have to make sure that your trauma is not now being transferred to your son from you.
Yes, which I'm working. I completely agree, but I'm also working very vigilantly towards that. If that makes sense.
Yes, sir. Now, do you live with him?
Yes.
Okay. And the mother is there as well?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we that's how we found out that they were my kids.
Okay. Now, here's the other thing, and this is going to be very important for you. You're going to have to make sure your
Hmm.
son gets what you didn't as a child, and that is emotional support from his father. You're going to have to
Okay.
be very emotionally supportive because you didn't get it. And because you didn't get it, you may not necessarily know how to show it. So you're going to have to work on that because how you said
Yeah, I
you,
think that's my issue is that I don't know how to show it. I try.
because here's
Like
my, go
I
ahead.
give him everything that he asks for, Like, if as long as it's in my capability. I bought him an Xbox 2 days ago.
Okay. Because here's my fear. Let me give you what my fear is. My fear is that if you don't provide your son with emotional support, but you expect him to behave in a traditional masculine manner, in other
Okay.
words, you want him to be strong and tough, but if you make those demands without providing him with the emotional support as he works towards becoming a man, you will lose him and he will end up being traumatized. And he could also become a candidate to be drafted by the Rainbow Army. And you know what the Rainbow Army is. Because what
Yes, I do.
happens is strong black men who expect their sons to become strong black men, who do not provide their sons with emotional support, they end up engendering within their son a belief that they are inadequate as men. If your
Okay.
son develops a belief that he is inadequate as a man because his father is holding them to a high standard of masculinity, but at the same time not providing him with the emotional support that he needs, he can start questioning his manhood. And if he runs
Okay.
into the wrong people, they will help him question his manhood and they will try to influence him to abandon his manhood, if that makes sense to you.
Okay. Yes, it does.
So
But
you gotta
so
be
let me ask you
emotionally
this.
supportive. You gotta be
I'll give you
emotionally
a
supportive.
prime. I'll give you a prime example. He has like listening issues and stuff like that. So he likes to jump down the stairs. And I've told him before, don't jump down the stairs, son. I try to be gentle, like I'm actively trying. And I'm like, don't jump down the stairs. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Do you have anger management issues?
I did. I've been in therapy for the last 3 years.
Okay, because the way you present, good brother, the way you present, I'm a little concerned that you're going to be a bit too hard on those boys.
I mean, it's easier to be soft on my daughter than it is on my son because my daughter. I mean, in the perfect world, she'd always have her daddy to protect her.
Right.
And,
So you are you
but
still in therapy?
yes,
Okay. Okay. I think there probably will also need to be some family sessions as your sons get older. And I think it would also be a good idea for them to get some therapy sessions right now, even if it's just play therapy. I,
I can manage that. Yeah, I can pay for that.
yeah, I think you want to make sure that happens. I think you.
It's not that I'm trying to be hard on them. It's that I know how fast I had to grow up.
Let me ask you a
Like
question. In the military, um, did you have any tours of duty where you experienced combat?
4, I was an infantryman actually.
And so you saw combat. Did you see
Yeah,
combat, actual combat?
yes.
In what theaters, if you don't mind me asking?
3 in Afghanistan and 1 in Poland and Ukraine.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been evaluated to see if you have post-traumatic stress disorder?
Yes, and I do.
You
That's
have
why
PTSD.
I was medically discharged from the army because of it.
Okay, you were medically discharged from the Army for post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay,
Yeah, because I told a soldier that I got that she didn't belong in this world because it's combat is extreme, and she was under this impression like she was using too many feelings for me, I should say.
okay,
And she was saying that it was a snow bunny. Let's be honest here, but
okay,
she was, you don't control who your soldiers are,
okay.
but At this point, I'm a staff sergeant, so I E6 in the Army.
Okay.
And I told her that if you can carry me up this hill, which it's called Hill 400. It's 400 meters in the sky. Is why it's called that. It also has like World War II vibes and all that behind it. But I said, if you can carry me up this hill, then I'll trust you. But personally, I don't, because all you do is cry and be a baby.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you
And
something. Do you think, first of all, do you have recurrent dreams or nightmares from your tours of duty when you sleep? Do you have nightmares or dreams?
yes,
Okay.
I have this nightmare. I don't want to be graphic on live, but basically, it was the day that my best friend died, and the I I shot a round that was incendiary on accident. I was still pretty young in the Army, and it burned the entire field of grass, which I'm talking about like 4 foot tall grass. And that's the dream that I have over and over again.
Okay. The reason I brought that up, do you think it's safe? I'm wondering, it could be safe, but do you think it's safe for you to be in a home with those children? Like PTSD?
Yes, absolutely. No. I'm not. I don't take it out on them at all. I make it a job not to.
Right, but if you have a PTSD dream or a nightmare,
Can you give me a second, please, son?
you
I'll
may
talk to you
not
in a minute, okay?
know that you're going through an episode though. That's the problem with PTSD. Sometimes you have trouble discriminating between reality and imagination.
Yeah, I mean, I do exercises like mindfulness and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. Well, do you think the
Like,
therapist has helped you enough? Is it time for you to get a new therapist?
so I did get a new one. I had a white therapist, and my therapist wanted to focus more on my like childhood trauma than she wanted to focus on like the real problem, which was obviously my PTSD.
Okay.
And so I requested another therapist, and I got this beautiful black queen um that is my second to my wife,
Okay.
because she's just that good of a person. She has 6 boys. Like, we talk all the time. I can call her anytime I want to.
Okay. Okay.
And she actually fucking listens.
Okay.
Excuse my French.
Understood, bro. Okay. Well, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wrap up, but you have my number. So if you ever need to reach out to me for a consult or something, let me know. You know what I mean? But I wish you well in that. You know, if you ever need to help find a
When would
place,
I be able to schedule a consultation?
just shoot me a text message next week and we can schedule it.
Okay.
Okay, bro. Be safe now.
You too.
All right,
Thank you,
man.
Dr. Umar.
No problem.